Hello guys, my name is Rizky from acreativealt and back to another topic on creative business. Topic for today, what is the difference between a freelancer and a business owner? I know many creatives who turns into a freelancers after working for so many years in different companies. If you are a freelancer, I do believe this is something that can be useful for you. Last year, I celebrated the 5th year anniversary of me running my own business called acreativealt. But this video is not about me telling everybody that I'm already successful. I'm still far away from that. I do dare to say that we've been thriving and we've been improving a lot throughout the year. And last year is the first year that I actually converted the business from a sole proprietorship into a private limited company. I learned a lot of things that are not very creative in that process. Many years back, I will not be able to imagine myself learning accounting as a creative, many of different aspects in the business. Never been in our mind. Last year, I learned a lot about accounting and also corporate insurance. And like many others, I started my business journey by being a freelancer. I started as a freelance 3D designer, supplying 3D visualizations for events companies. And later on, I became a freelance events photographer, and then I decided to set up a company. The first difference is scalability. You're basically trading your time with money. It's really hard for you to scale up from there and basically increase your income. For example, when I was an events photographer, I was doing pretty well. I did more than 100 events a year. If I want to triple my income to make it more level with a company, I probably need to shoot 300 projects instead of 100 projects, which is almost impossible to do. I think the most I could do in a month was actually 12 events a month. Because there are many other things that I need to do besides actually shooting the events itself, like doing the marketing, like sending my portfolio for different companies, editings, maintaining the website, building relationships, and so on and so forth. So in order for me to be able to grow twice or 3 times, it's close to impossible as a freelancer. So the only way for me to increase my income is actually to increase my rates. There are certain ceiling when you're talking about rates. Of course, you can't go too far above the market rate. If not, nobody will actually hire you. When I was shooting corporate events, I started with $50 an hour, and the most I could actually sell my service was actually at $150 an hour. Beyond that, I did manage to close a couple of deals that I can charge $200 per hour. However, there are really little number of clients that are willing to pay that amount. When you are a company, you are basically leveraging other people's time. So, an example, I was very fortunate nowadays that I do have a couple of team members. So I'm leveraging each of their time and basically make a little bit of income from their time. Of course, being a small company, I still do many different things. I'm still very hands-on, but I start to be able to delegate many specific tasks to all my team members. So therefore, I can do something that is even more important, which is actually growing the business. Next, a company will have a separate legal entity to yourself. If you have worked throughout the years, you probably have garnered a bit of personal assets on your side. When you actually set up a business, you are basically protecting your personal assets and separate it from the company assets. And this is where the insurance is very important, because there are many bigger clients who are only willing to give projects to the company that is fully insured. I managed to get a couple of big clients last year, and 2 of them actually requires us to have a $1 million worth of insurance. If let's say we happens to screw up the project, we can actually afford $1 million. And I think this is really important if you are doing business to business kind of a project. So an example, 100% of my clients are actually businesses. So many big businesses out there can only pay to a business account. So meaning to say that if you are a freelancer and you are using your name, they won't be able to issue a check or any types of a payment for you. So therefore, you need a business entity. By having a business entity, you will be able to get bigger clients. Lastly, I didn't think about this in the past, but now I'm getting older, and I think this gets even more important. Since the business entity is actually different from yourself, you can actually sell this business next time. Being a creative, again, I'm not a very business-savvy person. Both of my parents had a really successful career in engineering. I climbed up different corporate ladders and all. But of course, that is not the pathways that I took. What I had in mind when I started my business is that grow it up, next time I will pass it down to my kid. However, now I still learn that many big companies out there, that is not the main goal. The main goal is actually to sell the company off either through IPO or sell it to a bigger companies. You as the founder is basically just keep a small percentage of the share. This is the share that you can actually pass to your kids next time when the company gets much bigger. Or you just simply use it to retire in Bali in the future. By having a business entity, you will have an exit plan in the future. So if you're a freelancer who have been doing freelancing for years, I think the best thing that you can do is actually to set up a company. And I'm not talking about sole proprietorship, which have the same liabilities as your own self. I'm talking about a private limited company. But basically, a business entity that is totally separated from yourself. With that, I hope this video is useful. And if you are a fellow creative who are setting up a company this year, I wish you all the best and thank you so much for watching, and I see you next time.